Hi again. Halloween week, so like everybody else I've done a Halloween project. This box. Not quite Halloweeny as some people go, but I turned this from Wych Elm. That's my contribution. It's a species found in the UK, and I don't know whether it appears anywhere else, but certainly in the UK. There's beautiful colours throughout the grain, greens and browns and all sorts mixed in here. It's lovely wood to turn, I've really enjoyed it. The box itself is about 4 inches tall and nearly 2 3/4 inches wide, and I've got quite a nice suction fit to the cap, so I'm quite pleased with that. To be honest, I'm pleased with the whole thing, except it might be just a little bit on the big side, but I'll live with that. I've learnt some new techniques this week, used a new tool, and really enjoyed myself. Learnt lots of things that I can use on projects in the future. I'm sure it's going to make my videos better as well. I would just like, on the subject of videos, I'd just like to give a big thanks to the whole YouTube community. I'm gobsmacked at the amount of support I've received, the wealth of comments and feedback, which has all been fabulous. The number of new subscribers is just growing daily. I just can't believe, I set out to do this for myself, for my own little journey, to get myself back into wood turning again. Some people perhaps don't need an excuse, but I did. I needed that reason, and you people, you've given me that reason, and I just look forward to giving you so much more in the future. So again, thanks for watching, enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye. I don't know whether you can see the range of colours in here. It's a lovely mixture of browns and greens and yellows, oranges. A fantastically coloured wood. Now it's turned down to round, I'm going to turn a tenon on this leading edge so they can then be reversed and mounted in the chuck. Just dividing this roughly into sections of 1/3 and 2/3, and obviously the 1/3 section just here will become the top. So I'll now turn another tenon on here and then part it off. I'll now part it off using a thin parting tool. Make this a little wider so that we don't bind. Down here somewhere. I'll just mark where I want the edge of the box to be. This will be the overlap down onto the bottom section. And I'll define that first. I'm going to sand the inside now before I go any further, and for the first time I'm going to try the wet sanding method. I've taken the tip from Carl Jacobson and mixed a small amount of paste wax with some mineral oil, and I'll just give that a go through the grits and see how we do with it. So first time I've done this, so could be interesting. I use Arbanet for sanding, and I understand that it's fully suitable for wet sanding as well as dry, so let's see what happens. It's immediately obvious how much cleaner a process it is. Sanding at 120 grit here, and there's absolutely no visible dust. Kind of a slurry building up. Got to say, this is quite a pleasant process. So much quieter. Seems quite alien that you'll be sanding down with a wax, which means of course I won't be sealing the wood afterwards. I don't know what effect that will have, but I'm guessing this slurry will raise the grain in the same way as sealing it would do. Seems to clog the Arbanet mesh up more than dry sanding, but I don't know whether that's going to affect the performance or not. Up to 400 now, and a little bit of slurry around, but oh, no dust. I was fully expecting it to be flying all over the lathe, chunks and globs of slurry, but there's nothing. It's very clean. I'll speed it up now and give it a little polish. I have to say, Carl Jacobson, thank you very much, sir. This is wonderful. Okay, I've remounted the bottom half of the box now onto the chuck, and I'm just going to hog out the centre using a Forstner bit. It's not the biggest Forstner bit in the world. It's probably only half of the width of the box, but it's the biggest one I've got at the moment, and it will certainly make the next job a little bit easier. The next job now is to refit the top onto the base. Right, in that first attempt I've unfortunately gone a little bit too far, so it's just too loose now. So I'm going to take that off and just go a bit further down the body and get a new fit. I'm going to start hollowing out now, and I'm going to be attempting to use this Robert Sorby hollowing tool. It's the first time I've really given it a go, so my expectations aren't too high. Well, I have to say that removed a surprising amount of wood very quickly. And the finish is far better than I was expecting as well. I'm going to use a round nose scraper just to get into the bottom and clean the bottom edge up. Okay, having hollowed this out, I've got quite a bit of sanding to do inside. I'm a bit worried about having my fingers inside here, but we'll take it gently and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to turn the speed up gently and just watch my fingers, and then let this heat up a little bit. Having tried wet sanding now, I'd heartily recommend that anybody who hasn't tried it gives it a go. It's incredibly clean and seems a lot easier as well. Maybe it's just the entire ambience of a quiet sanding session instead of all the noise that we normally have and the mess. That was very pleasant. Right, next job will be to replace the lid. back onto the body, and then turn off the top, round over perhaps, and then make the whole lid and body match as one final piece. Just to try and hold this on a little better and give it some support, I've put a wet tea towel in there, and hopefully paper towel, hopefully that will help the grain just to swell up that little bit and hold it in place a bit better whilst I work on this. And then I'll bring the tailstock back in as well. Just using the spindle gouge now to take very light cuts and just take away the tenon on the top here. I've moved on to the bowl gouge. It's easier to take the pull cut and round the top up. A bit of torn grain in here that I'm just trying to work out. I think I had a catch with the spindle gouge and dug it out a bit. I'm doing the end first, and then I shall bring the tailstock back up to support as I do the rest of the body of the box. I've sanded through the grits now, and I'm just giving this a final polish up. The last job then will just be to part this off and then sand up the bottom, which I'll probably just do on the disc sander today. I've had a very interesting little turn today, and I've learnt some new tricks as well. I've used the Robert Sorby RS200 KT turning tool, hollowing tool I should say, which is a combination hollower and scraper. And obviously I've used the wet sanding method as prescribed by Carl Jacobson. I really do recommend you give it a go if you've never tried it. It was, I like to say, revolutionary, and it's certainly something I shall be using in future where the finish allows it. I'm not sure perhaps how to use that method if you want to go on to use more advanced oils and things for finishes. I don't know what the compatibility will be, but for everyday turned object, what a dream. I shall certainly be doing that again. So pictures coming up of what I've turned today, and I look forward to meeting you all again soon. Thanks for watching.